7, The Wolf's Throwdown.
All right, we got a big show coming up. It is back. Throwdown, a country concert returning to the Pacific Northwest. Tim McGraw, whole all-star lineup headed to the ShoWare Center in Kent next weekend. And joining us in studio to talk about the upcoming festivities and a new partnership with a local nonprofit is veteran Jim Koch and his service dog, Bomber. Thanks for being here today. So part of this is a benefit for what happens with these dogs, right? Getting dogs to service members who need them.
That's what it's about.
And tell me about, you brought in Bomber today, who's a lovely dog you got down here. Your service dog looks like he's taking a nap. He's not doing much right now. But tell me about Battle Buddies and what Bomber has done for you.
Well, so Northwest Battle Buddies, I didn't know that I wanted a service dog. In fact, I didn't actually want a service dog. But my wife, in a session with the VA mental health professionals, was asked if there was something that they could do to help me. And she said, yeah, get him a service dog. And 3 weeks later, I was contacted by Northwest Battle Buddies. And it's changed my life. But the organization itself is as much responsible for the benefits that I get and the other veterans that are gifted dogs from Northwest Battle Buddies, because they're so committed to a long-term relationship and for the veterans to continue to get the benefits on an ongoing basis.
Yeah, you were telling me Bomber's 5 years old. You've had him for 3. How has he changed your life since you brought him in?
Well, depends on who you ask. My wife would say that it got me off the couch for the first time in 6 months. But what I would tell you is that it's changed virtually every aspect of my life. These dogs are trained so superbly well before they ever meet the veteran. And they go from the breeder to the family that takes care of the dog while it grows up and teaches it its basic manners. And then it goes Northwest Battle Buddies when the dogs are ready and the veterans are matched up. They bring in the veterans, and the dogs go through about 7 months of training before we ever see them. And they've already passed all the certifications, and there's 3 major ones. So the dogs know what they're doing. And then they bring the vets in and they match the vets up to the dogs, and then we start immediately working with our dogs. And we have no idea. We all had family dogs, but service dogs are totally different, and they're totally focused on the veteran. And it's just amazing to take him for a walk. About every 3 steps, he looks at me, make sure I'm okay.
Yeah, he's watching out.
It's not only beneficial for the veteran, because I go places now I would never go. And I didn't really understand why I wouldn't go there. I just knew I couldn't be comfortable. And I was always on edge, and so I just wouldn't go. Now I go wherever I want to go. I'm a little edgy, but now I go, and I can be okay. And that's because the dog is, I know he's there and that he's watching, taking care of me. Now, other vets that I was training with told me stories about, after weeks of working with our dogs, they would have a challenge, and the dogs would sense what was going on and would jump on them and wake them up. And one vet told me how the dog, he kept pushing the dog away, and the dog dragged the covers off the bed. The dogs know what's going on, and the dogs are there for you, but it's also freed up my wife. And my wife didn't go into service, and she had no idea what was going to happen to me. Yet now she can leave the house and know that I'll be okay. She knows that I'm not sitting on the couch anymore, and she has to be there. And so it's been a positive impact in that regard. Physically, I walk my dog every day that I can, and that's most days. And we go 1.5 miles, 2 miles around the neighborhood. And I would tell you, everybody knows Bomber.
Oh, I bet.
because they see him and they see that he's different, and they like him, and they recognize him, they wave to him. I guarantee you they have no idea who I am. It's the old guy with Bomber.
Yeah, yeah. That's usually what happens when we go out and walk the dog, right? Everybody focuses on the dog. But it is great that you have Bomber. Obviously has been a big change to your life and something that other vets should consider as well.
I get vets all the time, especially at the Seattle VA. They said, I've never seen a service dog act like that. Maybe I could handle one. And I'm their biggest advocate. I'm out there with their business cards. And I sit down with vets all the time who say, I don't think I could do it. And I tell them I didn't think I could do it either. And I would never go back. There's a big difference between a family dog and a well-trained service dog. And Northwest Battle Buddies, we have to go back every year for 5 years and recertify. If we don't pass, they retrain us for free.
Wow.
Their commitment is to make sure that it's not just when you get the dog that you get the benefits, but ongoing. So I've had this dog about 3.5 years. He's not my dog yet. 5 years of passing the test, they'll give me the dog.
Oh, well, that's interesting. Well, Jim, thanks for coming in this morning, and Bomber as well, just chilling out there on the floor, doing a great job. And let's toss it over to Brian. First, we're going to tell you about Audacy Throwdown next Saturday.
Right.
It's July 8th at the ShoWare Center in Kent. A portion of all tickets are going to go to Northwest Battle Buddies. Get more dogs paired with more veterans, and tickets, by the way, are still available. So now, let's toss it over to Brian.